Greetings from global screens. Unfortunately, we see that the horrible scenario we have been talking about for weeks has become a reality in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, because Israel has now begun a full-scale ground invasion of the Gaza Strip. The timing is quite remarkable because U.S. Secretary Marco Rubio visited Israel and met with Netanyahu. And immediately after that meeting, the button for this ground operation has been pressed, well, already since October 7, 2023. What Israel, which continues to commit genocide, is planning for Gaza with this ground operation, and what can happen in this region. We're going to start talking. Ada Turul, Foreign News Director of Haber Global, is with us. Ada, I can't say hello and welcome. Unfortunately, once again, we started the day with horrible images from Gaza. By the way, we will start to listen to the details from you right away. But the people in front of the screens, for our valuable viewers, let us state that in the center window of your screens, there are live images from Gaza where the attacks continue. We have been closely following what has been going on since the first light of the morning, but let's underline that they have launched a ground invasion. There was already a very intense bombardment continued throughout the night, again by Israel. Ada, can you tell us in such a detailed way, and now, what happened and how it got to this stage?
In fact, we have been expecting a large-scale ground operation against Gaza City for some time, and the Israeli army has been preparing for it. What does it mean to target Gaza City now? It is actually the most important step towards a full-scale occupation of the Gaza Strip, because Israeli army tanks have never entered Gaza City until today. I mean, we have witnessed airstrikes, but the tanks have never been in the heart of Gaza City. Why is that? Because there, in fact, the last 20 hostages held by Hamas, who are believed to be alive, are thought to be in the tunnels in Gaza City. In the evening, U.S. President Donald Trump made a remarkable post on Truth Social and said, "I read a report that Hamas is taking hostages above ground to use them as human shields against a ground attack. I hope Hamas leaders know what will happen to them if they do such a thing." Now, what is Trump saying here? If you think of using hostages as human shields, then we will target you directly. Maybe we will witness attacks on Hamas members abroad again. By the way, Delara, the map is open behind us. I want to mention this part for those who don't know it. The Gaza Strip, look, the entire area we show here in orange is the Gaza Strip. Gaza City is a city in the north of the Gaza Strip. You can see it right there in northern Gaza. Look at Gaza, right in the central part, right on the coast, 12 kilometers long. The area we painted in orange is Gaza City. The place where we wrote 12 kilometers is the Mavasi area, just below North Gaza, where we wrote Gaza.
The city of Gaza and the hostages were already there, and Israel didn't dare to enter, thinking about what the consequences would be. But now, and we know that there are close to 1.5 million people living there, right?
About a week before this operation, last week, Israel issued an evacuation order for the whole of Gaza City, and that's where this migration started towards the Mavasi region. But now we are talking about an area of 12 kilometers long and 1 kilometer wide in the Mavasi region, and it is already Palestinians used to pitch their tents on the narrow strip of beach and try to survive there. Now imagine 1 million Palestinians from Gaza City coming there in droves. But the area we call Mavasi area does not have the infrastructure or the space to handle this. We have been saying this for the past weeks. There are tents there, and now there is no place to step out of the tents, and no one can find a place. I am now looking at the latest images coming from the area. People slept outside in the streets last night without any protection because there was a heavy bombardment again. and they worked. We are talking about such an intense bombardment that eyewitnesses in the area said that the sounds of these bombardments could be heard from the center of Israel. He says, so there was a very intense artillery fire and bombardment and airstrikes last night. Let's say that. Now, in the latest statement from the UN, for example, they say that the purpose of all this bombardment is to make the region completely uninhabitable.